Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast. We're here. We finally made it. Justin, Steven, Jesse, Wrestlemania. We've been on the road for Wrestlemania ever since the Royal Rumble. It's been very long, very dragged out, but we finally made it. Our first Wrestlemania as the Sports Department Podcast. And man, I'm excited to be here predicting every one of these matches. Fellas, how you doing today?
Good. It's our first Wrestlemania, too, because this is basically the last of all the major things we cover for their be-all, end-all, end-of-season type of thing, you know, because we've gone through the World Series, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals. We were a thing with the NHL. We didn't really talk about it, but we were here for it. And now we're finally here for Wrestlemania. And this is the end of the line for the most part, but, well, for this season. Because it's kind of like a season for WWE.
It is. Season finale. I agree.
Yeah.
It is.
Even though they reboot it like halfway through, which is stupid, but whatever. They should have an off season, but that's here nor there. But it's Wrestlemania season, 2 nights again. Woo. They got a pirate ship. That's all that matters.
Two.
Not just the normal one at Bucko Stadium. They're actually building one. Thank God.
They got 2. The more ship, the better.
Nice.
Jesse, how you doing?
So I'm pretty good. So if this is a season, is Drew McIntyre about to repeat? Like he's going back to back?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, Roman repeated plenty of times, winning all these WrestleMania main events and main eventing all the Mania main events and stuff. So yeah, we're kind of tickling the balls of our viewers right now, saying how our predictions are going to go, saying Drew's gonna win. Oh, okay.
You're correct.
But anyway, no, it could very well be. He could be, back-to-back champs going back-to-back. But I'm very excited to be here right now and talk some WrestleMania. Feels good. All right, let's get into the predictions again. Takeover didn't happen yet, but the Takeover standings is not going to affect this because we're recording this on Tuesday, April 6th. Takeover is the 7th and 8th, so whatever happens. Jesse is still going to be in the lead no matter what. There's no way after at least night 1, I don't think that either of us could catch up, but night 2, I could potentially tie him. So
you really
Jesse,
think I'm capable of catching up anyway?
I mean, you can't jump 3 spots with 2 pay-per-views.
God, I wish I could. That'd be awesome.
It would be.
If only the Orioles could do that.
Yes, if only they could. But so Jesse's going to go first in the predictions again. I'll follow. Justin will go third because that's how the score is right now. Jesse at 4, me at 2, and Justin at 1 pay-per-view victory.
I should make a little graphic for that, shouldn't I? Probably should.
I'll add that to
the to-do list.
Eventually, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I have it all in writing here, not on the computer. So just in case I'm wrong about something, we have to look at.
Writing things down is so much better.
It's just more official to me because I feel like I can get lost on the internet or I can mistype something. If I'm writing stuff out, I just feel more confident.
I also can't point shave on that one like I do in mini golf, so out of reach.
Yeah, exactly. But I could point shave.
You're loyal, trustworthy.
I am loyal. I don't want to cheat anybody. But let's get into WrestleMania night 1. Like last year, 2 nights of WrestleMania, double the fun, back better than ever. Fans in the stands. I'm excited. We have, which has been being called on Raw, the main event. I hope it's not the main event. We've been talking for months. This shouldn't be the main event, but as of last night, they called it the main event of WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens there. But we have WWE. It's bad. Oh, yeah. I think we should open up the show. It'd be a phenomenal opener. This would be.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah. Just like Mania 35 with Rollins and Brock, this would be a phenomenal way to start the show.
Didn't they open when Daniel Bryan got his head kicked off in like 10 seconds? Was that an opener also?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the best way. Have your secondary title or your other world titles
that's the thing,
WrestleMania.
Because the hope is Banks and Belair main event night 1, so it'd be nice to bookend it with women at the end, then men at the beginning would be good too.
Beautiful. I agree. But we have WWE champion Bobby Lashley defending his title against Drew McIntyre. Jesse, you're in the lead in our predictions. You go first.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
we know it.
Boy, the confidence.
Come on, it's
the smart pick.
And everybody here is picking McIntyre.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no way it's Lashlly.
McIntyre around the table, I guess.
Because we said it from the beginning where they were going to take whoever the biggest monster meathead of a heel is, and stick him against Drew. Either he
And
retains
thank God
wins,
it's not Braun.
or wins the belt again,
Yeah,
so he
thank
can have
God.
his coronation in front of a crowd, because he didn't get it with Brock last year, so they had to find the next meathead, and it's Bobby Lashley.
And granted, they did do that on short notice, but man, over the last month and a half or so, they really built Lashley up very nicely.
Well, they build him up to tear him down, essentially, to make the victory all much
True.
better for Drew.
Yep.
Exactly.
But at least at this point,
they're so good at building to tear down.
Yeah.
They're
at least
so
at this point,
good at building.
We can look at Bobby's title reign and be like, well, he wasn't necessarily a transitional champion, even though he was in theory, but he wasn't the typical one. Like, he had a good reign, short but good.
I think that'll be lost to history, and we'll remember that Lashley just won to lose to Drew. Don't get me wrong, I think Lashley's fantastic right now. I don't think he should lose the belt. I think he's great with the belt. But I think we'll look back on this as just like, yeah, cool. They gave him the title, but it was really just always to get it on Drew.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, back on Drew.
Back on for the third time now. Wow,
On
three-time
Drew.
world champion might be on Saturday. But the worst part about the Lashley championship run is that they did break up the Hurt Business a week ago during this. I love the Hurt Business from the beginning. I stuck on this bandwagon, and they eventually won all the titles, and then they broke them up.
If they were going to break
them up out of nowhere.
They should have had.
I really thought that was out of nowhere.
They should have had it where maybe they didn't get involved at WrestleMania, and he's pissed at them
the
for
night
not
after,
getting involved.
Then do it the night after. I agree.
And break them up then.
But I guess they're kind of telling the story that Lashley doesn't need them for WrestleMania, kind of in a way.
Oh, but then that's gonna look even worse when he loses.
It will. That's the problem. It will. No, I agree. I agree with both of your points. But McIntyre around the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, McIntyre. I kind of figured that's how that one would be. All right, I'm going to go next for this one. This match should, as we said in the beginning of the podcast, be the main event of WrestleMania. SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks defending against Bianca Belair. Yes, Jesse?
I'm going to be pissed if this is the opener.
Oh, so
I'm going to be real mad.
Will you shut off the rest of the show? Not watch? Boycott it?
I'll boycott a little bit. I'll turn off the women's tag.
Oh, so will I. I think that's the. We're getting to that at the very end of night one. Man, that's out of nowhere. But anyways, Sasha, SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca the challenger. This is tough. I'm looking up and down the whole WrestleMania card. I'm like, it's gonna be Mania 35 again. A lot of titles are gonna be changing throughout the whole show. And I think I'm going more with my heart here, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going with Bianca walks out of WrestleMania as the SmackDown Women's Champion.
I think so too. Just because.
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Banks is fantastic, right? She's one of the top women in WWE right now. But it's clear they want to take Bianca and put her on that tier. So to basically give her, a similar moment that what Becky got, and we saw what her winning the main event at WrestleMania did for her, shortly after she didn't lose the belt, she held it for virtually a year after that. I could see that this is going to be the launching off point for Bianca, and to take it off of Banks at hopefully a main event is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'll talk about this more when we get to the day 2 and the other match, but they need stars in the women's division. They don't have stars right now, with Charlotte being out, with Becky being out. You can make a star here, and you do with Bianca. I don't think there's... and I love Sasha. I've gone on record numerous times. I think Sasha is the best out of the 4 horsewomen. I think she is the best in-ring. She is the best on the mic overall. I think she is fantastic. I absolutely love Sasha. She's my favorite wrestler in the company, I think, in general. But at this point, you have to give that to Bianca. Sasha's already had a crazy good run with the belt.
Well, that's the thing. Her resume is what will help Bianca if she beats her. It's the accolades is what makes the next champion and the win so much better to help their career push it forward. Really the only other woman that could take her to the next level would be Charlotte or Becky. And like you said, they're not there, and they're not going to be there for some time.
Yeah, and maybe Bayley if she's built up, but Bayley hasn't had anything since she lost the belt.
she hasn't really been around. She
The
got
fact
a
that she's
crappy
not
talk
on
show
Mania
and-
in general is just disgusting. Because
Which I would understand if she was taking time off, but I don't think that's what's happening.
Meanwhile, she had one of the best runs of the entire year with Banks, but
Yep.
Screw it.
Yeah, stupid. But again, everyone picking Bianca Belair for that one too. Let's get into this next blockbuster match. Justin, you're picking this one first. It was announced on Raw that this is now a tag match. Thank God this is a tag match for the most part. I was okay with the singles match, but I prefer this being a tag match. We got Grammy Award winning, most streamed artist on Spotify, Bad Bunny teaming up with Damian Priest in his first WrestleMania, I think. So that's exciting. Versus Miz and Morrison. Justin, who you got, bud?
It's obvious. It's going to be Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, just because this past night on Raw they ruined his car. So obviously, but also like, what does Miz and Morrison get out of this? Really nothing.
A match with Bad Bunny that could be.
Yeah, that's really it. But like Priest, he wins with Bad Bunny, and quite frankly, it'll help him a little bit because I don't know. But rarely have we ever seen a celebrity. Have we ever seen a celebrity come into WWE and lose? Let's be honest. Have we?
I don't
There you go.
think so.
That speaks for in and of itself. It's going to be Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And Priest.
I agree. Literally, for that last point, it's Bad Bunny and Priest.
Yeah, no.
They don't bring a celebrity in to lose.
Exactly.
Because why would the celebrity agree to do it then? What is the point for them? They get nothing out of it for losing. They just look at the jackass that just came into WWE and got their ass kicked.
Exactly.
The only celebrity is Pat, but that's different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's an athlete.
Like I said this at the Royal Rumble, this is doing more for WWE than it's doing for Bad Bunny.
For sure.
Is that Bad Bunny's on another level in the music world. It's going to bring Latino eyes on the company. It's going to bring people to buy Peacock to just watch Bad Bunny. I know one of our friends from school, Joe Monroy, is a big Bad Bunny fan, and he might be watching WrestleMania just because of Bad Bunny, because he's a fan of his music. So it's good.
Is he really? Not that he's a fan, but he's actually going to watch WrestleMania.
He might.
So I haven't had data for a while.
I'm gonna live text Joe Monroy during WrestleMania.
He's gonna be so lost.
Honestly, he should just sign up for the free Peacock trial and just just watch it. Like it's cool. It'll bring new eyes to the company. That's what Peacock too. But we don't have to talk about that right now.
They should have had Bad Bunny. They should have had Bad Bunny team up with the rabbit from Firefly.
Oh, the what's his
Rambling
name?
Rabbit.
Rabbit. And what about also with like a threesome with the bunny with Adam Rose, yeah, that bunny.
Oh, Justin Gabriel was in there.
Justin Gabriel was the bunny, yeah. Like the new Shield right there. But anyways, I'm going with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. This is very simple, I think.
I think we might differ on this match coming up next.
I think we might too, but it
mainly because I'm an idiot.
But it goes to Jesse for this one. Back to Jesse.
Why do I get the tough one every time?
I get the crap ones all the time because I'm in last.
Yeah, because you're in last.
Yeah.
New Day defending their tag team titles against AJ and Omos. Omos's in-ring debut. This is going to be exciting. Jesse, who are you taking?
Yes, give me AJ and Omos.
Okay.
Yeah, give me AJ and Omos.
Well, I can't gain any ground on Jesse. Damn it. Thanks.
You're also taking AJ and Omos?
This was a pick with my heart, mainly just because I love AJ. And Omos is debuting, and they need to do something with AJ. So to give them kind of like the belts would be cool, because the New Day's not really the New Day without 3 people. It's kind of boring with just 2. But also, it gives AJ something to do.
But they also can always go back to that Kofi well of Kofi Mania. Yeah. And they I think they can just expect, if the New Day wins, you can expect a big pop.
But also
which
a borderline...
is why I'm kind of
But also a borderline heel AJ with his big muscle with belts would be entertaining as hell. And that's why I really want to see it, but that's probably why they won't do it. But I'm still going with AJ.
I'm going to go with the New Day here. I originally had AJ and Omos to win the titles, but just thinking it over, honestly, the last 10 minutes as I was looking at this thing, I don't know, a lot of belts are already changing in the night so far. We already have 2 title changes going on in one night. I feel like it's going to be a really feel-good WrestleMania just because there's hasn't been fans obviously in over a year now, and I feel like the New Day are the kings of making everybody feel good. So I just think they keep it, honestly. And
Clark,
even
you might be switching me.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm sticking with my picks. I ain't no bitch.
Woo!
I'm not a swing vote.
No, the belt thing real.
No, you are, Jesse.
Jesse's a swing vote.
Put me down for New Day.
Ah,
Put me down for
come on!
Stick to your guns. You have no integrity.
The
Remember
belt.
they literally built a whole feud between JBL and Shawn Michaels based on integrity. You have none. Stick to your guns.
That's okay. JBL's
Fine. I don't want you on my side. Go away.
Justin just wants
Good.
to
Sounds
think
good. Hey, I could.
Yeah.
Hey, I could totally regret this, but I
can
don't
take
know.
you- I'll take
No,
the only
it
point.
hurts me if anything because
Yeah.
I'm staying tied with you now.
Screw it.
I can't get ahead now.
Hey, man,
Screws me.
You gotta do what you
All
gotta
right,
do.
screw it. I'm done.
You
with this
shouldn't have
match,
been so
New Day.
convincing.
I'm done with this match. New Day. All right, next one. I'm up. Who cares about this match? Honestly, if we're being honest, it's cool. Cesaro's getting a main. You care? That's nice.
I called it, and Jesse laughed at me, and it's happening. So suck it.
Okay.
I really can't believe that Rollins came back just to be thrown into a throwaway match.
Oh, no,
in
I
the
agree.
middle
It's
of
stupid,
Mania.
but I called the stupidity.
Back-to-back years now. Seth Rollins is in a one-off that doesn't mean much. It's cool for the other opponent though. It's cool for Cesaro. He's finally getting a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. That's awesome for him. I don't know what's gonna. Oh wait, it's my pick. Yes, I don't really know what's gonna happen here. There's another
Yes.
toss-up for me. So I'm gonna go with Rollins. I don't know why.
Ooh, see, I'm on the opposite because maybe Seth will finally take break and go be with his child because we've been looking and calling it since
Wrong.
Survivor Series. And
I have Cesaro.
He
written right
he
there.
left. He spent 3 weeks with that kid, and then he came back. I don't think he
my
cares.
father's done with me.
Wrestling is his kid.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think Cesaro's gonna win. I'm gonna go Cesaro. There's no way you build this whole match and then have Cesaro lose. Like that's stupid.
Did I say Cesaro? Yes.
What does Rollins gain from beating
no,
Cesaro?
Nothing. Well,
I don't.
Cesaro gains
He's
more.
beating Brock Lesnar.
I have Cesaro written down on my sheet for me, so I don't know.
You wrote it down. It's official.
No, because I had to cross out Jesse's right there, and because he started with AJ and
He can't make
Omos.
up his mind.
I'll come back to this. If
What?
Jesse and I,
What is this?
if Jesse and I are matching the whole way
I
down,
was crucified.
Hold up. So you're
Okay, all right.
no, if Jesse and I are matching the whole way down, I'm
you
gonna.
cannot do that and change your pick once we move on.
All right, fine. I'll stick with Cesaro then.
Yeah, I bullied Jesse. I'll bully you.
Okay. All right.
So we all went Cesaro.
Why
We
then.
all,
the
we all
boys-
went Cesaro. We all went Cesaro then. All right, because I was
Which
gonna change
Rollins
mine if Jesse
definitely
and I had the
actually-
same card again.
You can't do that though. You got to do it on the fly. That's how I've done it. Why do you think I'm in dead last?
Yeah, you're right. All right. Now this is the match right here. We're all been
Oh,
waiting
baby.
for years
Please.
and years. Like Hogan and Andre all over again.
Yeah, but
Shane
that was good.
McMahon, Braun Strowman, Steel Cage, and Justin gets to pick this one first.
See, I was counting
Always,
before. If you
every
saw me,
time.
if you saw me roll my eyes, it was because I was trying to see what match I would have to pick second for this one. And at first, I miscounted because I'm an idiot and had to do the next one.
Yeah.
But this one's worse, I think. Not really. I kind of like Shane still. At least he's jumping off the cage. I don't think he'll hit it. I think Braun will kick his ass in the cage if he misses, which he will, because Shane never hits anything really anymore. So it's gonna be Braun.
Okay, Jesse.
Yep, Brawny the Strowman. Shane ain't getting a win.
Yeah. I'm just writing down Strowman for you guys. Yeah, I can always see Shane, squeezing out a win by just escaping the cage somehow. I could always see that happening, just because a little cheeky stuff.
Maybe
that
Braun will
McMahon
throw him.
does. Braun will throw.
Braun throws him off the cage.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, but the safe bet here is to go Strowman against Shane McMahon. Like, listen to the names you're saying right there. Braun Strowman, big 7.
Has Shane won at all since his WrestleMania comebacks?
Yeah, he beat Miz at 35.
That's right. That was a thing.
But it was a cheeky win.
That's when he was the face.
Yeah.
And it's when he was the
No, he was heel. That's when he was heel.
Didn't he face AJ?
Yeah, AJ beat him.
Oh wait,
He lost to Taker.
He lost to Taker. He
AJ
lost.
beat him. He lost to
Did he fight
AJ.
Jericho or Mike? No, he didn't fight Jericho.
It was-
AJ's fought Jericho.
Yeah, it was Taker, AJ, the tag team with Bryan against Owens and Zayn, and then
Owens and Zayn. Yep.
yeah, and then Miz. So I'm also taking Strowman though. It's just looking at the guys. I know Shane could squeeze it out. It's not a bad. It's a bold pick to pick Shane, but sticking with Braun.
You got to figure out how can Shane get a trash can in the cage.
Yeah.
He's going to put it in before he gets in.
He has his cronies, Elias and Jackson Riker on the outside that could probably help him.
There's going to be some shenanigans.
Yeah.
He's jumping off the cage. That's a given.
He's either jumping off or, like you said, Braun's going to throw him off the cage, and that's how Shane wins the match. Because Braun's an idiot. Braun's a big, dumb idiot. So I can obviously see that happen. But, all right, Justin.
Why is Jackson Riker getting TV time?
And Bailey isn't.
And Bailey isn't.
And Bailey isn't. Jackson Riker.
And Aleister Black isn't. Oh, that's another story.
Everybody. Oh my God. I haven't heard that name in years.
He'll be in the Battle Royal on Friday night.
I think we've talked about him more on this show than he's been on actual WWE television.
Well, it's because it's who he's married to. Sure. That's why.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's sad. But anyways, Justin,
they didn't care before then.
He'll be in the next round of cuts. I guarantee it.
I don't know if they're going to cut him.
I hope. I would love if they cut him and he could go somewhere else.
I would love that too. I think he would thrive in Impact, honestly. Impact would be a perfect place for him. He could be a top guy there. Oopsie, I hit my microphone.
Impact for a year and then go over to AEW.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Use him on television. I don't care. Anyways, Justin, you
put him back in NXT. What a concept.
There you go. That would be awesome if he shows up at the end of Cross and Balor. And he stares down Cross, get a triple threat.
It's not happening.
Yeah, well, the guys in NXT right now are guys that he didn't fight.
Yeah,
it's not his NXT anymore.
There's a fresh crop of NXT guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he could, if they were to move Balor up, which I don't know if they're going to, he could go right back down into that Balor role of just like, I'm in the main event. I'm having great matches with every single person that's in the main event.
Yeah. No, I
Aleister Black, Pete Dunne, give it to me.
Give me all of it. But anyways, let's move on to the first night of night one. The last match that I have on the card for night one before we take a quick break. Like I said, Justin, you thought your matches were bad. Well, Jesse has a pretty bad one right here. We have a tag team turmoil match in which the winner faces Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night 2 of WrestleMania. So one of these teams will be having 2 matches over WrestleMania weekend. It's Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina versus apparently Billie Kay and Carmella as a team too. It wasn't on the website, but they were involved in the little scuffle on Raw.
Didn't they announce this on Twitter?
It was, they had a backstage thing on Raw last night. The good part about this, it gets the women on the card, which is fantastic. The more women on the card, the better. But I just don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't care about this. Jesse, who are you taking?
Most of these teams aren't teams. Naomi and Lana have absolutely no background. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have been together. Teaming up, but they're not they're not a tag team.
No.
Or they just have had them together. And then Natalya and Tamina, what is that?
It's the old ladies.
2.0.
This is basically only happening because they can't have a women's battle royal.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even think that the tag titles would have been on the card to begin with.
It's staring you right in the face. Why did you just do Billie Kay and Carmella? Put the goddamn Iconics back together. Just put them back together.
Now would have been the perfect time for it.
Yeah, give them another Mania moment, winning the titles again. That'd have been awesome.
Oh, no, guys. Payne Royce is doing just huge stuff right now. She can't be bothered.
That was my last draft pick you're talking about.
That's hilarious, thinking that was your... I want to do another one of those. I hope they do another draft in the fall again. That was a lot of fun when we did that.
Oh, so I can destroy Justin again?
I'm an idiot.
Maybe Justin will be the moderator this time. We'll do me versus Jesse.
Yeah, you can draft.
Yeah.
I guess...
I'm better than doing nothing anyway.
Oh yeah, Jesse, who are you taking? We're spending too much time on this.
Does anybody have a definitive pick for this? Because
I'm down to 2. I'm either down to the Riot Squad.
I'm down to 2.
Riot
Squad. I am down to Riot Squad and Naomi and Lana. My reasoning: Riot Squad is the only real tag team in this, but I also don't think WWE cares. Lana and Naomi, they really love putting Lana on pay-per-view.
You spend more time about this match than they have
thinking
about it.
Jesse, go ahead. Pick.
Give me the Riot Squad.
Riot Squad,
I guess.
Wow, what a surprise. Clark picks last, so we can fix it to whichever one wants.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to go blurt out your answer, Justin, but anyways.
Because I want to get this over with.
Do we have the same exact card? We do have the same exact card.
Me and you. No, we don't.
I'm gonna go with Natalya and Tamina. Why?
Because it's
No,
different.
I like Tamina. No one's meaner than her. No one's meaner. So I mean, she should win, and they kind of been building them up on SmackDown.
It doesn't matter. Whoever's gonna win.
I know. I'm trying to stall time while I'm writing down the names.
RS
low-key,
or
Mandy
NT.
Rose and Dana Brooke might be a sleeper here because they really like blondes. I should say Vince really likes blondes.
Yeah.
None of us might win this. And what you guys go with?
Anybody could win, and there doesn't need to be
Could this
any
be a
reason.
bonus match?
Riot Squad.
Both you went Riot Squad. Okay.
Yeah.
I already forgot. That's how much I care about this one. All right, guys.
No,
we'll be right back.
We should have a bonus points for guessing the opener.
Ooh.
I think that should count towards the total points.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to say Seth.
Yeah. Seth Cesaro.
I'm going to say
opens.
Seth and Cesaro.
I'm going to say Bobby and Drew.
You want to do that as a tiebreaker?
Yeah.
If that's a tiebreaker, yeah, I think that's good.
And if it's enough, yeah.
I'm gonna go Banks and Belair, and I'm gonna be real mad if it is, but I think there's a chance. Yeah. If it's not main eventing, they might throw it in the opener.
Yeah, you might be right there. All right,
I can't wait for the fireworks to hit and then Sasha Banks' music soon after.
I'll be so upset.
I will FaceTime Jesse just to see his head explode.
It's boss time.
It's boss time.
It's break time.
Yeah. Anyways, taking a quick break. Like Justin said, we'll be right back for part 2, night 2 of wrestling. All right, we're back for part 2 of WrestleMania Night 2, as I should say. We just finished Night 1 of that little bit. Took a quick break, and we're back for Night 2. And I'm very excited. Part two. Night 2 blows Night 1 out of the water, for sure. Same with TakeOver, I think. TakeOver would be phenomenal, too. But once again, Night 2 is better than Night 1, which is the way it should be.
All about finishing strong.
Exactly, Justin. You know that best. Anyways, we start now with me. Oh, it's me because Jesse did the last one, so I get to go first. Here, I have to flip my page too, and we have to go to Universal Championship match. This is rough. Roman Reigns, the champion, versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. I am very conflicted.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest matches.
I think this might be one of the hardest we've ever done.
Because adding the third element of Daniel Bryan makes it even more
confuses the crap out of me.
Not just that, also the fact that they like sort of turned Edge heel.
Built up Bryan phenomenally over the last couple months.
All three men could win it, and I would be okay with it.
Yeah,
and all three legitimately could win it, and it's like that makes sense.
Now at this point, I kind of don't want Edge to win. Because I don't want Edge to win as a heel.
Me too. It won't feel the same.
Like the feel good return story is just down the crapper then at that point.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick one here, which I'm going against the grain 100% on this. I don't think I'm right on this, but it's just what I'm feeling in my head more than my heart. I'm going with Daniel Bryan. WrestleMania Part 2. I think he's walking out as the champion. It's just he's the only face in this match, which changed a lot. I think Edge is the one who gets pinned. I think Roman maybe takes about a month and a half, 2 months off now because Roman has been at the top of his game ever since SummerSlam. I think he started a little Bryan and Edge feud for maybe Extreme Rules Backlash, whatever's next. I don't know. I'm going with Bryan to win the title.
I really, really want to, but I like all of them. Like I like all three options in this match, but I think they complete the story of Edge coming back and winning and kind of him stopping at nothing to get what he kind of never lost. And then I still think they do go on their little tangent of doing an Edge Daniel Bryan storyline, because then it could be Edge being like, or not Daniel Bryan, but him kind of trying to win one last time and win it the right way, maybe because maybe Edge cheats or something. I don't know. But I do think Roman loses the belt, though, regardless.
That's the crazy part, because Roman hasn't lost in
and we thought for the longest time Roman was going to hold this belt for a year plus.
He still might. which is the crazy part. He still might. Jesse, who are you taking? Are you gonna go the third way? We're all gonna take someone different, or are you agreeing with one of us?
I'm like you guys.
It's hard, which is how it should be. This is fantastic that we don't know who's gonna walk out as champion.
We're assuming this. We all can agree this isn't going to be the opener of night 2, right?
No, this is the main event. This is definitively.
We will predict the opener just in case, too, just for fun. But
I'm off Edge. I think the heel turn.
Me too.
Turned me enough off of Edge. It really comes down to if I think Roman's going to take time off. I don't know. Because you said about him taking time off, and I'm thinking, I'm like, that makes sense. But
you can figure too,
he took off a lot of time already.
He took off a lot of time. And honestly, we don't know how much more Roman we're going to be getting because he's already started throwing around the idea of retirement.
Yeah. All three of these guys are honestly like the story, and with all these guys coming back.
But I think there's so much better of a story if Roman's not pinned.
Because what I would like though in this,
never lost.
I agree.
If Bryan were to win, even though he's not my pick, it's Edge, where we've never really had a WrestleMania end on like a bad note type of thing. Well, we've had bad notes, but not like intentionally, right? Like the Undertaker one pissed a lot of people off, right? That was a bad note.
Yeah.
But say Daniel Bryan wins, and then Edge just goes absolutely berserk and takes them both out. You write you can write Roman off that way, and then that kind of kickstarts the thing, even with Daniel Bryan having the belt.
Yeah,
possible.
Which again, don't get me wrong, I think Edge is a fantastic heel. He's one of the best heels of all time. I don't think this was the right time to necessarily turn him heel, unless you're putting the belt on Bryan.
That's why I picked Bryan. I don't know. Like I said, the great story going into this with all three guys having to retire at one point for a little bit and coming back. Fantastic work. Video package should be great. I honestly think any single one of these guys could win. It just depends on what Vince wants to do on Sunday night. Like it's literally up to him because, like Justin said too, any of these guys could. I'll be okay with winning too. It doesn't matter. But my head is just telling me for some reason Bryan, and Justin's head for his reason is telling him Edge for some reason, and Roman's the only one left out here, and Roman's been on the dominant run, and Justin and I didn't pick Roman, and he's been on the run of his career for the last 6 months, so that's just saying something that we don't know who's gonna win.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but give me Roman.
Woo!
Screw it.
Love it.
Give me Roman.
So we all gain a point and we all lose a point. I like it.
Yeah.
More triple threats down.
Roman's been so dominant, and the last bad note that we got at Mania, it was when Roman won.
Yeah, and it might happen again. I honestly think that's a great pick too. They're all great picks, honestly. Honestly, whatever happens, no winners, no losers, except for two of us, anyways. All right, back to Justin. You get to pick a good match. Look at this.
What is it?
You got the Fiend, burnt marshmallow face, Bray Wyatt versus Randy.
Sack face.
Huh?
I call him a burnt scrotum. 2 podcasts.
Like I said on that one too. How would you know what that would look like? But anyways,
Dude, I
good
love
match.
the Fiend
It's not an
mask.
Inferno match or anything. It's just a normal one-on-one match. Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Justin, who are you taking?
It's going to be the Fiend, obviously. There's going to be some supernatural shenanigans. Bliss is obviously going to be there. So she'll be involved to some capacity. I just don't see Randy winning because are you really going to have him kill the Fiend effectively twice? No, you're not.
No.
You're really not.
What does he gain from that?
And then also, what's the point of bringing back a bigger version monster of the Fiend just to have him lose to the same version of Randy Orton? Doesn't really accomplish much. So it's going to be the Fiend. And it's going to be interesting to see how they pull off, like, say, special effects or something. Because last time they tried to do Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in front of people, it was terrible.
Horrible. The worms and all that.
Yeah.
The projector.
No one knew what was going on. We barely knew when we were watching at home. So hopefully they learn from their mistake and don't do that. And they just do something better. But I still think it's going to be Bray Wyatt walking away. And Orton, we might see him go bye-bye for a little bit, which, quite frankly, I'm okay with.
Deserves it. Jesse?
Fiend.
Yeah.
There's no way you bring him back to have him lose.
Justin said it best the whole time. It's a new character, the new Fiend, more dominant than ever, it looks like, more supernatural than ever, kind of like Bliss is controlling him. It reminds me a lot of Paul Bearer and The Undertaker, honestly. Like, it feels like the roles have switched, how first Fiend took Bliss underneath his wing, and I feel like Alexa kind of resurrected him, and is now the roles are reversed. So I feel like Alexa's gonna play a big role in this, but no, I'm going with defeating two. I think that's pretty easy, that one. And back to Jesse, a great match here. Might be the opener of the show. We'll get to that once we're done predicting. But we have Asuka defending her Raw Women's Championship against a newly called up, newly heel, as it was definitely shown on Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley. Jesse, how we feeling? Who we picking?
Asuka's held the belt for a real long time.
Yeah, since Money in the Bank.
Since Money in the Bank, which was what, June?
June, yeah.
Give me Rhea.
Yeah, I agree too. I think it's Rhea as well.
It makes sense just because you don't call her up pre-Mania, put her in a program like this, even though, yes, she was effectively taking Charlotte's spot, we all assume. They're building her up to where she's legitimately could win and not just a throw-in, which obviously it was. And she's also getting her song performed live. So she's probably going to win.
Yeah, I wanted to look. That's what I forgot to do ever since last night. I wanted to look up the history of people winning or losing with their song being played. Because the last couple I remember, people lost with
Punk
their song.
Lost with Cult of Personality.
Punk lost. Orton lost at WrestleMania 30. Ronda lost at WrestleMania 35 when Joan Jett was there. So it's not. The stats don't look good for Rhea with her song being played.
Sasha Banks lost when Snoop and the
Charlotte won that match in the Raw Women's title.
Undertaker didn't lose with Limp Bizkit, so that means we need more Limp Bizkit themes.
We need more Limp Bizkit. No, I'm also going Rhea in this one. I think it's just time. It's time to have a new face in the. Not face, she's heel, but like a new physical face in the women's division, like we said earlier.
Well, you know why she's gonna win too.
Why?
She's blonde.
Is it because she's blonde?
Yes.
Yeah, she is, and she's kind of like the new.
She's like alternate Charlotte.
It is. it's like evil Charlotte in a way. Like you got like the little devil and the angel on your shoulder. It's like Charlotte's the angel one, and she's the devil. But no, I can see a Charlotte feud at Rhea coming again. We got a little bit of that, taste of that last year, but there's always more to do with that. They didn't do too much with it, but I agree with Rhea. Let's continue to.
Do we think Asuka ever gets her win back on Charlotte at a Mania?
No,
because I think it was supposed to be this year.
I think
it was supposed to be this year, or honestly, maybe Charlotte was supposed to win. Honestly,
that would have been so sad if Charlotte.
Maybe Asuka is just there to lose to Charlotte.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's her story arc.
Yeah. But we're back to me again. And we're here for this Intercontinental Championship.
Thank God I'm not picking this one first because I have no idea how to explain it because we don't know.
I don't know either, but I'll try my best. We have Big E, who's the Intercontinental Champion, defending his title against Apollo Crews in a Nigerian drum fight. I said a couple weeks ago on a wrestling recap that some stipulations needed to be added to these matches. And so far, 3 of them were changed for stipulations. You had the Miz and Bad Bunny got changed to a tag match. You got Shane and Braun added a steel cage to that one. And this one turned into a Nigerian drum fight. Do I know what that is? No. I'm assuming it to be Nigerian themed weapons at ringside, like the colors of the flag, like Apollo.
Will we get custom ropes?
That would be cool. Like they cause the ropes will already be white. I think the flag is green and white. So if they do a little like green, rope thing.
Oh, like a green thing. Oh, that'd be hot.
That'd be kind of cool. I'm assuming they're just going to be like, obviously drums, I would say, at ringside used as weapons. I would say like the little spiky forky things that him and his army guys walked around with. I would assume that. Yeah.
I'm getting stabbed.
Spears that they're gonna use that. No, they're gonna use the other end of the spears.
Other end, or they'll put the hand
or like use the not sharp side. They're gonna like hit them with it long ways.
Stupid. Yeah. It seems like it's a match themed for Apollo Crews based off of his new character and the heel turn and all that. So, and he lost to Big E twice already now. So I guess I gotta go with Apollo Crews in this one. Another title change for me during the night. Great.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna keep it on Big E, even though it does make sense. They keep giving Apollo try again. It just wears thin at that point. Just give me Big E. I think they're more invested in Big E as a singles competitor. And Apollo Crews getting a title shot, like a title reign, albeit if he win, I could see it. If he wins, he's losing it like the next day. Like it's going to be a Zack Ryder situation if he wins, but I think it'll still be Big E.
Jesse?
Give me Apollo because I think if people are taking time off at the top of the card, if Roman potentially is taking time off, if Bryan could potentially be taking time off, or Edge, I think they've been building Big E long enough that eventually he's going to be pushed into the main event at some point.
Yep.
He can't have the belt on him when he does.
Yeah.
I think this is the right time to take it off him. He's had it for a while. He's had a good run. They really kind of built him up as a singles competitor. I think this run did what it had to do. Give it to Apollo and let him do something else with it.
I agree. That's awesome. Good point right there with Big E. But that's that one. And we're on back to Justin, who has to predict Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, but Logan Paul apparently at ringside. Justin, who are you taking and why?
How much are they paying Logan Paul?
Logan Paul fan? Justin, you kind of look like Logan Paul.
He's a douche. Logan Paul is on Sammy's side, correct? Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of, I guess. I mean, Sammy invited him to his documentary on SmackDown.
All right, so this is what I see happening, because Sammy wants to be kind of like an internet kind of celebrity influencer type of thing through his whole tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, look Cold War looking self, right?
Okay.
Logan Paul, we know how he made his fame on YouTube. So therefore, he's going to screw Zayn over so Kevin Owens wins at KO Mania 5.
KO Mania 5. 5 WrestleManias at that. That's awesome. I mean, I'm obviously going more at my heart here. I'm just going Owens. I always pick Owens when he's on the card. I picked him against Roman Reigns to win the title a couple months back. But no, I think it makes sense too. It's just the whole conspiracy thing with Sami Zayn. It's going to be another conspiracy of why he lost at WrestleMania. He's just going to be, I don't even know how to say the words. I don't even know how to explain it anymore. Like, he makes excuses for things that are his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he thinks he is the leader of this perfect society in a way. And I just feel like it's just going to continue with this whole Sami Zayn conspiracy theory thing. Like, that's just going to continue.
I agree.
Well,
Just say, what do you think?
Zayn's thing is losing right now.
Yeah, and he's very good at it. And he's very good at it.
Yeah. So give me Owens.
Nice.
I could see Owens. I would personally love if they did like a Owens Big E #1 contender kind of thing after Mania for SmackDown. Even if they do like Bryan Edge or Bryan Roman or whatever at Backlash, have the #1 contenders match under that. Yeah. And then you have your next thing for, I'm pretty sure that would be what, Money in the Bank next?
Yes.
After Backlash or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that would be, in my perfect world, I think a KO Big E #1 contenders thing would be fantastic. So give me Owens. Zayn's gimmick is losing right now.
I agree. No, I agree with both you guys. And we got 2 more matches on the card. So we're going back to Justin for this one. The United States Championship match. We got Riddle, the champion, versus Sheamus. Justin.
It's gonna be Riddle. Sheamus is cool. I don't mind him. He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame one day, but he won't have another U.S. title run. I think they're gonna keep it with Riddle for a while, just because. Why not? One belt should be retained at this point, and I could see it being this one. So give me Matt Riddle.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Sheamus doesn't get anything by winning this match. Riddle does.
Yep, I agree. Riddle's first Mania, so awesome. Get him a nice win against a good vet. Nothing more to say on this match. And now, Justin didn't get to pick this one first. Dang it.
Thank God.
I should have changed the order of the matches, but I just copied it off of like CBS Sports or whatever. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defending their women's tag team titles against the winner of the Night 1 tag team turmoil match. So, just like with Johnny Gargano with his North American title, we have to pick the exact winner. You can't just pick challengers. You have to pick the exact winner. Jesse, you're going first. Good luck.
Give me Jackson Baszler, because I don't know who's winning the turmoil match.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I'm
also
going
here's the
Jackson
thing:
Baszler, too.
they don't care enough to name a contender straight up. So
yeah, is there a pre-show?
No, SmackDown's the pre-show, because I believe the reason why they're doing this is because they want the first match in front of fans to be on the main card of WrestleMania. It's been 13 months, 14 months since there's been fans in the seats.
I won't watch
at a
it either
wrestling
way.
show.
It doesn't matter to me. But They
Look at you,
don't.
oh, Mr. Cool over here. I don't watch the kickoff show. Oh, I have to watch the Orioles lose. Oh.
They'll be going on at the same time. I have 2 TVs for a reason, so you can guess which one's going to be on the big one, and it's not WrestleMania. No, it will be. They just don't care about these belts. So the number one sign of caring is switching hands with the belt. So it's just going to be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler still. And can they just retire these at some point?
See, this is the team I can see losing their titles on the next night. I'm going with Shayna. I almost said Shayna Jax, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. But I can see someone getting called up from NXT. I can see anyone, maybe Dakota and Raquel, someone. I can see them just losing the titles the next night. I think this is your WrestleMania spoiler right here on Raw or SmackDown. But I am going with Jackson Baszler for this one. But all right, let's just pick the opener. Who we think's gonna open the card for this one? Just for
Owens
fun.
and Zayn.
It's a good pick.
That was gonna be my pick.
Get the crowd jazzed up and ready to go.
It. I don't care. If you guys want to
give me Asuka.
That's what I was gonna pick. Asuka and Rhea. Yeah, that's what I was gonna pick too. But that doesn't do anything unless there's a tie. I mean, it doesn't matter. Honestly.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm also gonna go Asuka and Rhea. I just think,
cool.
That'd be a cool opener. But thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Us three appreciate it. Joe and Steve appreciate it as well. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. That's Sports DEPT Pod. More wrestling content coming this week. Takeover reactions, WrestleMania reactions. We'll be back to the normal sports in the coming week. So stay tuned to all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode.